Johan, and today we are going to talk about one of our fancy tool, Frase.io, because we published a post last evening, and we talk about like it's one of a good tool. We have been using it for the past 2 weeks now, and we have seen a lot of good output of this one because it's just easy to create like writer's guidelines so that you can simply throw in the topic. You can take the writer guidelines and you can give it to your writers, and you can get one of our best article from the day one. You can get that article live, and probably at the same time or maybe after that you can run that article via Surfer SEO and try to optimize it. So try to understand one thing, that Phrase is more to write an article. So it gonna pretty much what do we call it as brainstorm the ideas for you, that what things do you need to cover by looking at the top 10 results, what kind of topics they have included, and then you're going to take all those things, gonna get included all your writer guidelines and send it to your writers so that they can go and do a best job on a day one. So, and you're probably going to be ahead of your competitors that way. Because if that's what we always understand. We talk about the data all the time. So if we believe like Google has put them on the page one, that it means like they have got something special going on in their content. Probably they are off page signals as well, but content is one of the main thing. That's something we can hold very well from day one, and that's, I think, the tool can be very useful to produce a content on a scale. So it's still available on AppSumo. So what I'll do is, before I give the screen to Ravi, I'll probably go about show my screen to you guys, and we can have a look. All right, so let me know, guys, if you can actually see my screen. Ravi, can you see my screen?
Yeah, Matt, I can see it.
All right. So
I was
that
maybe thinking if we can just wait for like a minute or so and get more people online. What do you think? And
yeah, that's
we
okay.
only
So
got like 5 people at the moment, so yeah, just say hello and meet and greet. Just say hi, guys, so that we can see you guys are saying.
all right, so
Tell me
I'll
guys
give the
when
command to you, and I'll see if we are able to see the chat, because I know there are some kind of hiccups I've got. Um, so
maybe enable the group chat at least
yeah,
so that
I'm not really sure, because I can do a read only kind of thing. So guys, just click a quick comments in case you guys can actually see us. Or can you actually?
yeah, I can see 5 people on our group. So yeah, I'm sure there are people watching. So we can start. Yeah. Hey Ram, I can see a few messages popping up. Can you see messages in our chat? Yep, I can see it coming, Rowan, in our chat
All
box.
right, all right,
Yeah.
all right. Great, great.
Okay,
All
perfect.
right.
Yeah, now we can slowly start and go through it. I think the first thing we want to mention is like we are no way affiliated with Phrase by any means. We're not promoting the service or anything. I think we just saw a few questions pop up in the last few days around Phrase, and I was watching like in even in Superstar SEO group and stuff like that. And we recently bought it a few weeks back, and we've been trying it a little bit here and there. So we thought, we'll just share how we use it, or we are planning to use it going forward. And it's not a right or wrong way. There could be 10 different ways you can use it. It's not the tool, it's the methodology which you employ using a particular tool. But I think it expires today, is it?
Yeah, that's
From
going to expire in next 5 hours. So I thought this was the best time to actually do this quick review and for the group members. All right,
Yeah,
so
that's correct.
I've got a few comments popping on here. It's Ramaraj. He's saying like all good. So hey, Ramaraj, excited for you
Ramanuj.
to, and Ramaraj. Sorry, I think I pronounced your name properly. All right, Prajwal is up here as well. Hey, Prajwal, how are you? Okay, so before we go for a quick deep dive, let me just share my screen quickly and show you guys
Sure.
the AppSumo deal itself. So that's a AppSumo's deal about this Frase.io, and it's going to expire in next 5 hours and 54 minutes. And then you can have a quick read about all this information up here. Although we're gonna cover all this in the quick today's video as well. So you can just throw in, and you can get the summary for any particular topics on board. So they've got all the screenshots, everything is already covered in that. So that's kind of a topic. So and then you can simply copy paste, you can get an average word count kind of thing too. So they've got two different kind of things. The one is a single one, which is 69, and another one is unlimited one. That's what we have picked up for our different agencies. So that's all about it, and you can actually go through all this kind of thing. They have got a Phrase Insider
Facebook
Facebook
group.
group as well. In case you want to have a look, they've got a answer engine. That's a pretty exciting one. They have just recently added to the lifetime deal. And what the best part about the answer engine is, like, you can actually add in your predefined questions and the answers, and it's kind of a bot which gonna answer the queries to everyone. So in case you want to promote some kind of blog, or you've got some blog which you have published, you can simply add the visit to your website, and then whenever someone gonna go and answer it, it probably gonna answer them. We haven't tried it, but we just saw that other day. All right, so what I'll do, Ravi, I'll give the screen to you, and then you can simply jump in and can do it. So you can actually press the third button, which is
Yeah.
share screen, and let's get it going. All right, over to you.
Let me, guys, if you can see my screen. Just give me a yes. Hey, Rushabh, how are you? And then I'll just jump into it. Can you guys see my screen, like this one, the phrase one?
Yes, I can see now your screen too.
Okay. Now that's good. All right. So a lot of people, I think they are not confused, but a lot of people compare phrase with surfer, and I think it's got some similarities. It's got few things here and there which do look like surfer, but I think the main difference between phrase and the surfer is that surfer gives you this surfer's linked directly to Google's NLP API, and it pulls all the information, and it pulls queries from the API as such, which I don't think phrase does at the moment. Phrase does have and I'll go through a few things, but it does have few features which are similar to surfer, and we'll just cover them. So basically, the way we are using it, or we've started using it, there's so many features. I mean, you can go to answers and things like that. You can search for existing queries within your website, so you can link up your Google Search Console. And so we've done that. I won't unfortunately, I can't show you that because we've got client data in there. But when you link up your analytics, you can see basically for a website, you will see all the queries or the impressions that your website is getting for, or the pages are getting for. But then it also tells you, like, it gives you three options to either track a query. Tracking a query means, it will say, okay, this query or this keyword exists on your pages, so just keep tracking it, and you don't need to do any actions. Or it will say, okay, go and create content, which means it will say, okay, you're getting queries for this keyword, but we couldn't find that exact keyword on your website anywhere. So there's a big opportunity to either go and write a blog on it, or you create a document or something as such, where you can start looking at some of those keywords and start implementing them back into your website using phrase. So it gives you an option. And let's say if I can just go in there. I think you have to go to crawl. So let's say, search combat. If you crawl that, it will give me some queries in there. Let's say this one. And then it will give you some suggestions around, let's say GMB optimization or whatever. And it will tell you either you track it or you go and create new document. And you can create a new document, which then, you basically copy paste into your back into your website in the form of a blog, or in the form of just an addition of an existing content, and that way you go. So we haven't been testing that thing out much, but the main thing I've been checking is the document field. And basically, I've just got an example in here where, let's say I want to write I want to prepare a page for SEO audit services, right? So you just basically go in here, create new document, and you just write in your keyword, and you just run it. Either you can import an existing page and optimize it, or you can create an entirely new document, right? So I'm just getting a question in here: how many websites GSC we can link? I think what we've done is we like for our SEO projects, we get our clients to make us the manager of their GMB, their GSC, and analytics via an email address. So as long as you link that email to this phrase system, any GMB, any GSC or Google Analytics that's sitting behind that, or you are the manager of, will show up in here. So, I can see around 20, 30 websites in here, which we are currently managing from an SEO point of view. So we can see all the websites. I can go and have a look at all the websites in there and, take it from there. So that's the answer to the question. But yeah, we normally go to content, document, and let's say I put SEO audit service. What it will do is it will show you these options on the right hand side, right? So the default screen is this content brief. So basically what Phrase is trying to tell you is basically what phrases have been used in what context across different websites, right? And those websites are top ranking websites in the SERPs. You can select which country you want to optimize this keyword for. So let's say I'm doing it for United States, so I will select United States in here. But if I select, let's say, Australia, it will just rerun the whole query. It will just show you the suggestions based on Australian high ranking pages, right? So that's what that covers. Are you still with me? Yeah. Okay. I thought we got disconnected. So basically, what you normally do is, let's say it's giving you suggestions of topics around SEO audit service, audit process, website audit, and then you can click on it. It will show you where that keyword has been used in different websites which are ranking on top of the SERPs, and that way you can start looking at some of the paragraphs. And if you say, okay, this is how I want to start my document with, right? SEO service tailored to your website needs. So you just click on that. It will bring it on this side, right? It will just keep adding it. So I can just keep clicking topics and keep adding them to my content calendar in here. And then I can just go back and pick up the next keyword, which is SEO audit, and it will show you in what context people are writing stuff around SEO audit process. So I like this line, so I brought that across, and in the same way you just keep scrolling through all the different ideas, and you can start bringing content into your content calendar page, which is this one. So once I'm done with that, what I normally do is I go to questions, right? Because this is where I see the beauty of this tool, that it helps me write FAQs really quickly. So I can see there are all these questions and answers listed in there. And then, just as an example, what was I brought in like these 4-5 FAQs, which I think are applicable to my service, right? And I just basically, you click on that, and let's say I go to the end of it, and just you click on paste, and it will basically paste the whole thing in here, right? I'm going to quickly delete that because it's like a really long piece of content, but that's how easy it is. So you go through a question, you bring the answer across, and you just start preparing this document calendar, or content calendar in this form. Once this is done, right? So this is like to me, this is a plagiarized content, because you're basically picking up content from other people's website. I wouldn't use that ideally, but I would use that as content suggestions. So there are two ways to optimize this, right? So either you can just copy the questions into Surfer. So you can start putting all the questions in here, oh, sorry. So in the Surfer, basically what I've done is I went to the content editor, and I put SEO audit services as a phrase or the keyword, and I ran it for US. And then basically, if I'm writing a new piece of content, I want to optimize my content in line with the top 10 ranking websites, right? And when you run this query, it will show you the list of all the 10 websites and more. I normally exclude websites like Wikipedia. I will exclude any lead magnets like OneFlare or high pages and stuff like that. I will exclude any yellow pages or any other directory services which are ranking on the top page. What I want to do is I want to compare my content like for like with websites which are offering exactly same service. So I want to compare my document with other SEO agencies out there who are offering SEO audit services, right? So I'll exclude that, and then I'll select the ones which I think are close to what I do, and then I'll run the query, and you will get something like that, right? So on the right hand side, you will get all these important terms and their keyword density. Now, this is very similar to the topic section of Phrase. So basically, what topic section is, it's similar to what this is, but like I said, um, Surfer does use Google's NLP algorithm. It brings out some of the keywords through that. I don't think Phrase does that at the moment. I may be wrong, but by the looks of it, it doesn't at the moment. So that's why I prefer Surfer over Phrase. So what I would do ideally is I would go and get as many topics from Phrase. So Phrase is saying, okay, people are using SEO audit service 2 times, mentions per source, and then your sir might say something similar. SEO audits is being used 5 times across the 10 results, right? So you start adding content from Phrase. So I would go to Phrase. I might add this paragraph. Then I'll pick the next keyword. I'll add a paragraph. So in this case, like content audit, I haven't added anything in regards to content audit. So I can just go and say, okay, a complete content audit is included. So I think I like that line. So I'll just go in here and I say, okay, copy that. Okay, so that's been copied, and you can just keep going through all these topics, and whatever you think are applicable to your document or your page or your service offering, you start bringing them across. And what Phrase normally says, and let's say I rerun that, it will automatically make one. It's putting one against content audit, which means it's been referred once in my document. Now, if you see the yellow line at the top, what Phrase is saying is that you don't need to get 100% for this content. You need, if as long as you are above 29.3%, you are doing much better than the average people out there. The more you are to the right of this yellow line, the better your content is, right? That's what it's trying to say. So basically, just go through the topics, pick what you want. So let's say I want to talk about website crawl. You can start reading how and in what context people are using this keyword, and you can bring a line or whatever back into your document. And then once you're happy with the structure of the document, you send it to your writers, right? And you say, okay, look at this document and I want you to rewrite it. If you're too lazy to do that, basically what you can do is you can copy that. You can go to something like Word AI, and I've got Word AI open in another window. You just copy it there, you spin the content, and once you spin that, you bring it into, let's say, Grammarly. So basically what I did was I took it into Word AI, I spun the content, and then basically I copy pasted the content from Word AI to Grammarly. I'll just spend some time, optimize it to where I'm happy with the content. And then the last step is, once you're happy with the content and it's unique because you spun it, you optimize it, you just bring it into Surfer and you paste it in there. And then what you do is you further optimize this content using Surfer recommendations. So now I can see a lot of them have gone green, but they're still like SEO audit service has only been used 3 times. I should be using it 5 times. Now I will further optimize this. So maybe at this point you can give it to your writers and say, okay, go and optimize this, go and proofread it, take out all these, references from other websites, and then give me a good document at the end of the day. So there are so many ways to skin this cat. It depends what you want to do, how far you want to go, what sort of page you are creating. Are you just creating a blog post where you're not too worried about getting everything green, or are you creating like a money page or a service page where you want to get everything green, so that I highly recommend, making everything in green, because it does help with the SEO as far as I'm concerned and what I've seen result wise. And basically that's what it is. That's how I use Phrase and Surfer and Grammarly and, spinning tools. And you don't pay for content to anyone. You can just start writing unique content in that way. I mean, there will be some form of human touch required, because you cannot just rely on spinning softwares. You cannot just rely on just copy pasting stuff. It still has to flow properly. For an example, I was showing you just copy pasting it across, but when I'm doing it properly, I would be very strategic in terms of which keyword I copy and how the paragraphs flow and stuff like that. So do spend some time, but yeah, if you do it properly, maybe in an hour and a half, you can get a really optimized content, which is optimized for phrase topics, and then also optimized for surfer keyword suggestions, gone through Grammarly. And if it's gone through a spinner, it's quite unique in that sense. And the last thing is, you publish it, you run it through Copyscape, and if you don't see any plagiarism, you're good to go. Just go and publish it and use it. That's what I would do. So that's how we've done a little bit of work on that. We're not heavily using it for our money pages at the moment. We rather just prepare this surfer and send it to writers and get them to write unique content. But when you're doing, you're creating blog posts and stuff like that, which you just want to create as supporting articles, and you're not looking to heavily do outreach using them and stuff like that, this is a good tool. I mean, these tools are good to use in that capacity. Even for GMB content, if you want to go and do GMB post, you can just use Phrase. You can just, I would go to questions section. I would put SEO, whatever. I would go to questions, and I would just start picking, let's say this one. This could become a GMB topic in itself. What is covered in SEO audit? You can just paste it across, just run it through Spinner, and basically paste it into your GMB, and you got new GMB posts ready. So you can start publishing 20, 30, 50 posts in a day on one topic. I mean, the opportunities are endless. That's what I'm trying to say. It's how you use it. It's not the tool, it's how you use the tool. That's what matters.
Yep.
I think that should cover pretty all the things. Rohin?
Yeah, and if we go to the very first tab, which is, all right, let me just turn on my screen just in case. If Ravi, you have finished that, would that be okay?
Yeah, mate, I'm finished. Let me just stop my screen. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So
yes, with it, I think that's, you've covered it pretty much. Yeah. Take it through Phrase, run it through Spinner, Surfer. I would maybe do Grammarly before Surfer, just to make it look, make the English look better. And then last step is Copyscape, and yeah, you're good to go.
All right. So, and can you see my screen now?
Yep, I can see it, mate.
So what else can we do? Let's say if my topic is manage SEO, for example, then I can just go to brief and let the phrase do all the hard work for me, the average word count and all those things. Scroll all the way down, just type and paste brief. So once you paste brief, it's going to give you all the guidelines and everything. And what you can do is you can just send it to your writers and just tell them that what topics needs to be covered. If you want, you can always polish them up as well. So it's just a way that I probably don't need links. I can actually skim it off. And statistics is all the latest new stuff, so you can actually see those latest new stuff as well, in case you want to make a topic a little more trending. So and then because managed SEO it's probably a different kind of an article, but if it's like a blog post kind of an article, then definitely the summary and the sources part, you're gonna get it up here, especially this part gonna be pretty good, that you can simply go and paste it. What else can be done is, let's say if I'm going to do some YouTube videos, I can simply do a query run from Phrase, and then I can let's say if it's about link building, example can be, if it's about link building, what all I can do is, let me just try to do it really quickly. All right, so Phrase, and I can simply go to the summary section, and it's gonna fetch all those top 10. I can just add summary all to these ones, and take that particular description, I can paste it in my YouTube stuff. So if I go to document new, let's say if it's a link building tactics, something like that, and then I'm going to do a quick loading, it will go and it will pick it up all those 10 results. So you can see it is picking up all those backlink codes and that kind of stuff, Neil Patel. And that's all I need to do. Let's say I'm too lazy, I've shoot a video, but I don't have a time to actually go and write a YouTube description. This is where the software really gonna help us, because you can create the writer's brief. I want to write an article about this, let's say link building tactics. All I have to do is I have to go to the content brief section, paste content brief, it will go. All right, let's go. All right, everything is up here. As you can see, everything is up here. All I need to tell my writer is just go and start adding more stuff to it. So everything, all those things, they know how to do it. And writers, they know this stuff because that's their bread and butter is. They know everything. We don't need to spoon feed them. We just need to tell them that we have done our research. This is how much average word count you need to write, and try to cover all these sections as well. And then if I have to go, what I'll do is I'll skim it out all this Yoast and that kind of stuff. Rest of the stuff, obviously, spend a little time to polish it up, copy, paste it to the YouTube descriptions. That way you don't need to worry about it. At least there is something instead of nothing. You know what I mean? So this is how the tool can be used. And then you can always optimize. You can paste your URL up here. Let's say you already got a website and you want to compare top 10 results and these stuff basically with your particular page. If you have already got one, you can always paste the URL and it will go and compare side by side. If you haven't got the article published, you can always copy it, paste it up here. At this section, again, the same thing. It will go and tell you, all right, in this article, this many times you have used export. Export is a pretty actually go and edit the article as well. So it's kind of a live editor, I think. Microsoft Talk and all those, and the PDFs too. So all these things. And there is one last thing what I really want to cover today. Actually, I got to know yesterday for that too. So it's an answer engine. We have already said what it is. So that's something, content map. So if you know about what was that one? Question ideas, we already mentioned what the question ideas are. Question idea is where you put in the question and then it will go and tell you. So if it's like link building, do it. Maybe a few of you, I know Josh, he was here. There is a tool called Mentorprice. Mentorprice do the same thing, but it's a very expensive tool. I think Frase can try to, it's a good alternative for this Mentorprice. So what is link building? What is a link building SEO? And these kind of things can be really helpful because it just takes a query from Reddit, Quora, and few more search engines. They said they are adding soon. So this is something you can try to cover. You can try to add a specific answer to this one, and then you can go to the curate.com, this particular answer, you can paste it your link over there. That way you can get some referral traffic from Quora or Reddit as well, because you are actually answering, you're not trying to promote anything, you're answering whatever they are looking for. So that's one. Content map, that's another pretty cool one. What you can need to do is link building, and it is very much same as like answer the public. So link building, it will generate all that complete cloud on the fly. So as you can see, it's all that thing up here. So if I'm going to talk about link building, I know that what stuff I need to cover, then what things else I need. Let's say if it's a anchor text, then as soon as I'll press on anchor text, it will create a cloud for that particular thing. So we need to actually spend a bit of a time on this thing, what I'm saying. It's hard to. So keyword clustering, that's another pretty cool topic. You can use it too. Very last thing, and that's all we know as well, FAQ schema. FAQ schema is very much same thing. Let's say you got a website and you can, which has got some questions or something available on that site, something like your sales page. Then what you can do is you can just copy paste the URL up here, press it, and it will tell you that these answers, these questions are eligible for FAQ schema. And then there will be a button underneath that which you can create a JSON code, and you can add that particular code to that particular page using Sogo page header page editor plugin to that particular page only, not to the complete site. So and that's something pretty helpful. Or else what you can do is you can just simply install for free, copy, pick this particular code and add it to your website. That way, wherever this script will see any kind of like a schema FAQ opportunity, they will add the schema straight away. So you don't really need to go and do it manually. Everything gonna get included by itself. And that's what the beauty of the tool is. You don't really need to do any kind of hard work doing it. We are thinking it's pretty good. Once again, guys, Frase is not SEO, Surfer SEO. Surfer SEO is different. Surfer SEO is more about optimizing your content. Like Ravi, he said, Frase is more about you are actually trying to
Generate ideas.
cover the ideas basically. You're trying to make sure that everything is spot on, and that's what the purpose is. And I think we have tried to cover as much as we can. So let's take see if we got any kind of questions. So what I'll do is I'll switch on my so.
Yeah, and I think it's a because it's just a new tool. They've just released it, so there'll be a lot because they've got a roadmap. They've got a public roadmap, and I think it's because I remember Rowan, we bought this tool, and then I basically did a refund 2 days later because I didn't like it. But then I saw the webinar. I basically figured out what options the tool has. And we bought an 2 more courses. So yeah, it's I think it's a promising tool. Things like FAQ, schema, concept map, and stuff like that. They're not included in Surfer, so it's got a lot of goods above Surfer, but it's not a Surfer replacement. I think they're both different tools. I think we've lost Rowan. He made. Oh no, we haven't. Maybe we have. Can you guys see Rowan in there? Can I get a message in Facebook? Looks like Rowan's gone. Maybe he'll come back. That's fine. But yeah, oh, he's back. So yeah, look, that's what it is, and I think I'll show you this one, right? Just quickly. Google traffic. I think somebody asked me. So basically, if I go in here, this is where you see all those suggestions. For all the websites. So Search Combat, it's my website, so I can show it to you guys. So it's basically, it basically picks up all the queries. So we had like white label SEO. We got 13,000 queries for that keyword. And it's basically saying that you need to go and create documents around white label SEO reports, because white label SEO might be listed, but white label SEO report may not be listed on my homepage, which is basically where we're trying to rank for this keyword. So this gives us an opportunity to go and on the fly have a look at things which are not included on the pages, but they have got high potential to drive more traffic. And then white label SEO report, I can just go and create an FAQ. I can just add like a 30 to 50 word content in there covering white label reports, and voila, this will go from create to track, because now Google can find exact match keyword, and next time when it's trying to show impressions, hopefully it will convert into some clicks as well for me. And that's basically how you go. But if you click on this drop down, you can see all the websites that are linked to that email address, which basically I have linked back to Frase. So, in our case, we've got SEO clients. I can see all those 20, 30 odd clients sitting in there, and I can go and investigate their, keywords and impressions. And, we can make suggestions to our clients every month around, okay, what sort of blog posts you should be writing, what keywords are drawing in more traffic, or what keywords are drawing in enough impressions but not enough traffic, and things like that. And you can see create and optimize, and then there would be another one called track, which is basically the keywords which you already have, but they are high volume keyword, and you can just start tracking it basically. Yeah, so that's that part of that thing, and that covers Phrase in a nutshell, unless somebody else has got any other question which we forgot to answer. But I think, yeah, it's a promising tool. It will take some time, but it will get there. Yeah, I have no doubts. Alrighty.
All right. So I think that's it for today. And if you guys have any kind of queries or something, feel free to actually post it in the Facebook group, and then we will be answering that to you guys over there too.
Yep.
And all right. Thanks for that, Ravi. I appreciate your time too, bro.
No worries, my dear. Talk soon.
All right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye. See ya.
Bye-bye.